Hey guys, what's going on? ZeroArmada here with a first impression gameplay and commentary for Rust, a first-person survival game made by Facepunch Studios. They're also well known for another game that they've made called ZeroArmada. You might have heard of that. And pretty much the whole premise around Rust is you literally start out with nothing, and you have like a rock that you can use to gather resources with, and you pretty much go around the world, accumulate resources, and build yourself to survive the wilderness around you and the other players, the other enemy players, and whatnot. It's a multiplayer game, server-based, similar to an architecture like DayZ or Counter-Strike, so to speak. You have servers that you can go on to, custom servers and official servers, and you have other players, and you're all just fighting to survive. And what I really like about Rust is it kind of takes the best of both worlds from its inspirations. You have a lot of obvious inspirations from DayZ, from the whole survival aspect, and the zombies, which are actually going to be removed, and I think they're going to be replaced with mutants instead of zombies. And then you have kind of the whole sandboxy type of a feeling with the building, the crafting, the resource accumulation, kind of something you'd expect out of like Minecraft, so to speak. So I think that's kind of really the niche that Rust is trying to build for itself. It's trying to take some of the best of both worlds for some of these out of the kind of the newer generation games. You see a lot of influx of the zombie games. You have DayZ, of course. You have 7 Days to Die. You have Infestation, Survival Stories, or War Z. You have all these zombie games coming out. You have Nether. And then you have all these sandbox games that are coming out, like Minecraft, which is pretty popular, of course. You have Starbound, Terraria, and the list keeps on going. So I think Rust is really trying to carve itself out as a unique game by taking kind of the best of both worlds from some of the most popular genres nowadays for some of the up-and-coming games. And kind of, at least in this gameplay, you pretty much just see me going through a zombie-infested town gathering resources. This was more on a low-populated server, but you can see, at least during the gameplay, some of the buildings that you can create. Literally, you can build a fortress in any shape or form that you want. You pretty much everything you make in game in terms of the weaponry, the armor, you either have to fight someone and kill them and take their armor or their items, or you have to craft it yourself. So there's that kind of that immersion and kind of that effort that you have to put into the game, and kind of really makes you kind of appreciate it more and appreciate some of the items that you have and kind of appreciate the whole survival theme and aspect, because you're working to make those items. You're not actually, finding them on the ground or anything like that, so to speak. So at its core, Rust is still extremely early in its development stages. Kind of pretty much alpha, as you can see in the gameplay, but it doesn't feel like an alpha. I mean, it's extremely polished in terms of what's in the game. I mean, there's a good enough amount of content that you can keep the game somewhat in your entertainment for a good amount of time. So there's still a lot of replay value to it. There's still enough to keep you immersed in the game until the developers actually add new content, so to speak, and stuff like that. So I think that's really where Rust has kind of an upper hand against some of the other games like DayZ, which just recently went into early access on Steam. DayZ is definitely not in any way, shape, or form close to its final product. A lot of bugs, a lot of inconsistencies, and I think that's really kind of driving Rust to be a more appealing game in terms of what it has to offer and what it can provide players at this time. So really, if you're looking for a zombie game, something to kind of thirst or kind of feed your thirst for something like DayZ, which kind of disappointed you, I definitely look into playing Rust. I really do think it has the potential to be probably one of the best zombie games or zombie survival games, so to speak. It's in good hands with the ZeroArmada developers. You know that they've done some successful things with ZeroArmada, and they've kind of really changed the outlook on sandbox games altogether with what they've done with that game. So I mean, that alone kind of really validates kind of what Rust is going for, and kind of backs some of the claims that Rust has for becoming a game of its own. So that's my first impressions for Rust. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below as always. I'll also link you guys to the Rust store page on Steam if you want to go ahead and give it a shot. And thanks for watching as always, guys. Much appreciated.